Leader Hayoto, and we're finally doing the X and Y rant. And it's with Mono. Say hi. Okay, anyways, we like, just to say, like, something before we start. Disclaimer, we like this game. Right, Mono?
Actually.
Yeah, this game was pretty fun to play, but we just have a lot of bones to pick with it. Anyways, we're gonna start with the good sides. And, okay, first of all, I love the music. But that's pretty much the same in all Pokemon games. Anything to say?
I like the music. It's pretty good.
Okay. Now, do you have another good side?
Yes, I love the new EV training thing.
I hate it, but I think it's kind of boring. Anyways, I prefer horde battles.
EV training way easier.
I like horde battles because you could just rock slide and then kill everybody on screen. I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about I actually like I okay, for the things that they kept over from Gen 5, they kept over the good things. Like, they kept over the TMs lasting forever, endless bag space. Um, they brought back most of the Pokemon, but unlike Gen 5, well, what Black and White did, they didn't add any old Pokemon, but they did in this game. And there was just so many Pokemon to catch, but it was so difficult to pick up your team. And by the first two gym badges, you already had two Pokemon. So you already had like six Pokemon. Anyways, you have another
I
good thing
like
about
that.
you have
Yeah,
another
I like that a lot.
yeah. I also like the customization of the character. That's the best thing. I love designing my character. I especially love to do with the female character because she's a girl. I'm not trying to be sexist here.
Like, kind of the bad thing to say about that, so I'm gonna hold it.
Okay. Anyways, I also like skating, but I mean it's kind of cool,
Yes, it's starting speaks things up so much.
but then the bike's faster, so I don't know.
That's
Um,
faster, but a little bit harder to control.
I like the fact that there's a bunch of rivals and you're hanging along with them. That's why I really like the rivals in Black and White. But I have some bones to pick with all of them. Anyways,
I love Serena.
is
She's
that?
gorgeous.
Oh, I also like in the ending where they have like the X and Y Pokemon. They're like really angry, and then when you can use them in the final boss. But Gen 5 did it better because the boss fights were so much better. Anyways, now let's go to the main section of the rant.
The bad
Disappointment.
parts.
Disappointments. Anyways, first of all, I'd like to say I hate Mega Evolutions. I mean, I know it's a little bit early to cover this, but
Oh my gosh.
okay,
Don't even get me started.
okay. Mega Evolutions. Here's the main flaw. I mean, it's good that you're making some really crappy Pokemon pretty good. Like Wild, I can see it. Um, um, what else got a Mega Evolution that deserved it?
Pressure. Pressure, for instance.
Who else got a Mega Evolution that deserved it? I don't know, but
Pinsir.
Pinsir, yes, Pinsir got a deserved Mega.
Absol.
Absol got a deserved because those Pokemon weren't very good.
Lucario.
But okay,
Well,
starters, I could
Lucario's
see.
kind of on that
I
edge.
what?
Lucario's kind of on that edge.
What is on the edge?
Lucario.
I don't know. Anyways, I like the fact that they're making weak Pokemon and starters better because everybody loves these Pokemon, but we all know that they're not that good. I'm looking at you, Charizard. I'm looking at you.
Charizard right now.
Okay. Anyways, when you have to fight them in a game, it's like, what the heck? I thought this was a competitive thing. I thought that you could only use it, but then when you have to fight Lysandra with that the Gyarados that's Mega Evolved, and it's kind of dumb because it's like
Yeah, I don't.
he's gonna wreck you. I mean, Cyrus.
Too many really good Pokemon that get Mega Evolutions. Like, Helios, even though Helios isn't all that good, it still didn't need one.
Yes,
And Mega Scissor, no, it's just slow.
Scissor's very good, but it's kind of slow,
You really have to, that's why you use Water Punch.
and that's why Scyther is viable. It's not very viable,
Yeah,
but if you can't find a metal coat, it's very viable because it's fast. It's fast. Anyways,
why did Mewtwo need a Mega Evolution?
yes. Anyways,
Are you kidding me?
yeah. Diantha, Diantha, she got a Mega Gardevoir, which I like Mega Gardevoir. It makes a bad Pokemon better, but it makes it completely overpowered because it's a fairy type. Okay, Now let's talk about fairy. Wait, are you done? Are you done? Are you done with megas? Are you done with megas? Is your body ready to do fairies? Okay, well, let's talk about the new type added, fairy. Now, I don't like any of the fairy types except for Slurpuff and the big purple one. I mean, Gramble's a cool fairy, but the type is just what annoys me. Dragon was pretty overpowered, but not that much. There was only 20 viable dragons because the other ones were under-evolved. Anyways, so they just needed a whole type to counter 20 types. And I can understand why it's super effective to fighting because fighting is super effective to everything. And its brother. And Dark is only super effective to psychic and ghosts. Like yeah, Bug is not weak to Fairy. Fairy just resists Bug. Anyways, okay, here's the flaw. Here's my main flaw. You made such an overpowered type just to counter a couple types. You did that in Gen 2, but then there was two types that you created to keep the system odd. Therefore, no types could be overpowered, obviously. Even though Gen 1 Psychic types were pretty overpowered. But then they changed it to make it better. Fairy types didn't make anything better. They made it even, so any one Pokemon could be better than all other Pokemon. Like, no. Pokemon could be, like, tied in power. But I just don't see why they need a new type. I mean, all types were balanced. Yes, Toxic Protect, Umbreon, amazing, but that's not a poison type. Most most Pokemon could learn Toxic, and most other Pokemon were better with Toxic. But that's not even it. They didn't make any more good poison moves. They added Fairy type, but didn't add like a physical Sludge Bomb, like a Poison Punch or something, because a Toxic Punch would be cool. Like Sludge Bomb works, but Poison Tail only has like 60 power, and it's just like, no, Game Freak, no. Anyways, Fairy added to other old Pokemon. I kind of like the idea about Azumarill being dragon, but like when it comes to dragon types, they could just be taken out by a bulked up Conkeldurr's Ice Punch, or even a Mach Punch. Conkeldurr was the perfect opponent for dragons. What? Yeah, it had ice. It could learn Ice Punch and Avalanche. And Azumarill was already very good in UU. Azumarill is UU. That's where we like it. UU. It can tussle with all the Pokemon in UU just fine. Because that's what it was made for. Pretty much, just to counter those Pokemon. And when you put it in OU, when you have all these dragons, and you have a fairy in OU with all the dragons, it's just like, you don't do that. You put fairies in different tiers than dragons. Because people only use fairies to counter dragons. So put dragons in a different tier. Like, maybe put all the fairies in OU and put all the dragons in UU, but that would make the dragons overpowered. So, I don't know what I don't.
If they were going to make a fairy type, I would have been fine with fairy types if they gave the fairy typing to Pokemon that needed it, but if not types that needed it.
Yeah.
Like, for instance.
Do you know what doesn't make sense to me?
Needs an ice bug or a fairy bug or a dragon bug even.
Just because Steel type is super effective to fairy, steel type shouldn't be not very effective. Steel should not resist dark. Like, why? It was a bad idea. You just made dark way more vulnerable. Yeah, I mean, you just made steel way more vulnerable, and that's not anything pretty in my book.
I'm
It's
hoping they pull another platinum play, and they bring in a third game like Z or something, and have it amazing, and fix all of the screw ups, add more Pokemon, just like, Attack was the one they did. It's been more generation.
All right, I'm done about ranting about fairy types. But there's something else I want to rant about: the gym leaders. You can't remember any of the gym leaders. You can remember some of their names, but they're all very boring. Like, what does
Yeah,
Alexa
there
do?
was no one that played a big part.
What does Alexa do? She just sits in her gym the whole game. What does the electric guy do? He sits in his gym. What does the second gym leader do? What's his name? I don't know. He's too boring. What does he do?
That's the point, though.
He comes back from a bike race and then sits in his gym. Like in Gen 5, they had Clay. Clay is an awesome gym leader. A really, really awesome gym leader because he stops Team Plasma. He knows what's up. Even Marlon's a good gym leader because he knows what's up, but he just doesn't want to fight it because it's not very peaceful. And it's just like in Gen 5, the gym leaders knew what was happening. When in Black and White, when all the sages were trying to attack you, they just went up and helped you, even though the first three gym leaders are the Shadow Triad. Like it just furthers the theory, so
That's for another rant or
it
theory or whatever.
makes it the theory better. Anyways, okay, so let's see. Let's talk about your friends, Shauna, Serena, Tierno, and Trevor. And I'm not talking about the Trevor chatting with right now, but I'm talking about the girl. Anyways, um, Serena slash Callum is very boring. They're just good at Pokemon, and they're like smarter than you or something. Then there's Shauna, who's kind of interesting. She has a crush on your character. I think something happens with you two when you see the fireworks. But she's okay. Tierno, he's a fat dumb character that they do so wrong. How is that even possible? How do you make a fat?
Such a fat guy anyways.
He's basically fan service that fails. And Trevor's just a little schoolboy, and nobody really remembers Trevor. And you battle them, a lot. And I love to battle my rivals, but when the rivals aren't very interesting, hells no. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the story. Okay, the story is very bland. Okay, Lysandre is like trying to harness the power of the legendaries to shoot a cannon to destroy the world, and he doesn't have any motives. He just feels like it. Well, Gen 3 had a good story. And yeah. Oh, you're talking about Gen 4. Yes. Well, actually Gen 3 and 4 had similar stories, but they did them well. In Gen 6, when they tried to copy that same story, they didn't do very well. It's just bland old Lysandre. He gets new weapons every time you fight him, but he doesn't beat you up with the weapons. He just mega evolves. And Sycamore kind of looks up to him, and how could the great, hot being of Sycamore, and I know I just called him hot, Sycamore is very pretty. Huh, gay. Anyways, like he just looks up to him. Anyways, we're gonna get to Mono's last topic about how he does not like the appearance change. Didn't you say something about that earlier? The video's about to end, so hurry it up. Hurry it up. What? You said something about you don't like how you can change clothes.
usually it's just the same thing, and